Hey everybody, it's Flare31 here. Welcome back to more Pokemon Yellow. In the last episode, we did quite a lot of traveling. Just, we went through Rock Tunnel essentially and fought a lot of battles, a lot of trainer battles. Caught some new Pokemon and then wound up down here in Lavender Town where we explored the town because it's very small compared to the cities we've been in so far. It's more pallet town size where we started. And then we also went into Pokemon Tower right here and fought our rival, but we couldn't make any real progress up it because there's ghosts everywhere that we can't identify. So in this episode, we're gonna actually go down here because we have the choice of going either left or down, and I just want to go down first. There's nothing over there. What is this though? Route 12, north to Lavender. North to Lavender? I mean, I guess that's true. You're not gonna tell me what's to the south? Hey man, there's a lookout spot upstairs. Cool, I guess I'll go look. Are you alone up here? Interesting. My Pokemon's ashes are stored in Pokemon Tower. Aw. You can have this TM, I don't need it anymore. Oh, okay. Thanks. I hope you're doing okay over there. What is this? TM30, oh my god, TM39, what are you? Swift! Yeah, I don't know, Swift is kind of a weird move to get this late into the game. It's kind of more like an early game move in my opinion, but whatever. It's Pokemon Tower! Cool. And then what's in this one? Even though they're basically looking at the same spot. Oh man, fishing! Okay, great. So yeah, that is this little gate here. You can pick up a TM. Not that the TM is all that impressive, but you know. Now, there is some trainers that we can fight. Who do we have out first? We have Chubbichu? Perfect. Yeah, I got a bite here. Fisherman? Ooh, a Goldeen. Goldeen. Yeah, hit it with the Thunderbolt. You got this, Chubbichu. Level 31. Oh, that was fast. A Poliwag? I still really like that color blue. It satisfies me every time I see it. Alright, that was easy peasy, of course. To no one's surprise. What do you gotta say about that? Just a small fry. Oh, there's an item. I want it so badly, but we can't get to it just yet, so we're gonna have to ignore it for the time being. There's another guy here. I guess we'll fight him. Do I want to switch out? The problem is that Rossetti is next in line right now, and Rossetti is weak to water types. Not exactly a strong idea. Be patient. Fishing is a waiting game. That it is. I guess it pays, though, if you are good enough at it. Oh, well, this would have been actually weak to Rossetti. Oh well, doesn't really matter. Unless it lives because its special is good. Just, use Seismic Toss to finish it off. Luckily we didn't get poisoned. Another Goldeen, perfect. Perfect. The crit, that was unnecessary, Chubbichu, but I appreciate it anyway. That one got away. What else? Oh, we have another one. The Fishing Fool versus Pokemon Kid. Okay. Okay. Why would you call yourself the Fishing Fool? I don't get it. That's a high level Goldeen. I'm actually kind of impressed. Is it gonna live? It does not live, because we got another crit. Let's go, Chew. Okay. Chew is too strong. Too much! Yeah, exactly. Anything else over here? No, not really. Okay. A lot of, like, weird dock design. I don't know why it's so sporadic. I don't think any real life, like, piers or docks are weird like this. I could be wrong, I guess. We'll let Lumen get in here and do some damage. I'd rather be working. Okay, we didn't have to battle. Unless this is work. I mean, for us it technically is, right? Nice Poliwag you got there. We also have Thunderbolt on Lumen. I actually completely forgot about that. A Shelter. This is not this guy's lucky day. A Goldeen. Wait, what did he start with again? I already forgot what it was. Was that Poliwag, right? Poliwag, Shelter, Goldeen. Is he gonna have 4 unique Pokemon? Oh my god, he is. Cool. That just goes to show how many water types are in this game, though. It's quite a lot. It's not easy. It's not easy out here working to make a living like some people. Okay, let's bring Chubby Chew back to the front, I guess. Keep some semblance of even leveling going. And guess what it is? It's the Snorlax again. A sleepy Pokemon blocks the way. If I can read the sign. Sport fishing area. Wow. So yeah, now we are, you know, on the north side of the Snorlax that was east of Vermilion City. We've kind of like looped around, in a sense, but we've once again hit a roadblock. That's the main reason we came down here, is because there's actually, you know, it's a dead end, so might as well get some experience, get a TM. But that's all we have to do down here, so make it all the way back. Go through the gate. And there we are, home free. Now we can head out to the west. By Lavender Town. Ah, back on the open green plains. A real route, you might say. We've already got 2 trainers here. So we can bring Rossetti out, I would say. I think what we're going to do is we're going to fight this guy first. I'm a rambling, gambling dude. Rambling, gambling dude. Send out Growlithe. Okay. We are just the right Pokemon for this. I'm impressed with the levels of these Pokemon. They're not half bad. What else you got? A Vulpix. So, fun fact, I don't actually mention this very often, but I feel the need to right now for some reason. Growlithe and Vulpix are actually both available on this route in the patch of grass that's here, but they're only available in red and blue, respectively. We don't actually get anything new in Pokemon Yellow. Missed the big score, he said. What about this girl? I guess we'll keep Rossetti out, why not? What's a cute, round, and fluffy Pokemon? Trick question. Voltorb is seen from above. Oh, you just straight up have a Clefairy, okay. We'll go ahead and dig, I guess. I mean, why not? But yeah, I just wanted to mention that you could, if you're playing red, get a Growlithe here, or if you're playing blue, get a Vulpix here. It's like one of those situations where I feel like they are important enough Pokemon that we don't get access to for quite a while, that you might want to know about if you're trying to play along. And I just happen to like actually know about it. Stop! Stop! Don't be so mean to my Clefairy! Well, I wouldn't call it mean. It's a difference of opinion. I'm still level 30. Evidently, Rossetti has like a slow EXP rate or something. You need strategy to win at this. Pushes up classes. You need strategy. Super nerd. Makes sense. Oh, you have the wrong Pokemon, I just realized. Oh, it's so satisfying. Finally, we got to level 31. And a Muck! Oh, you are spoiling me right now. I don't like this Muck spray as much as the red and blue one. It's kind of mid. Hey, another Grimer, wow. I don't think this guy had any strategy. I'm not gonna lie. 3 poison types and basically they're all the same Pokemon? It's not logical. So down here, if you have Cut, you can get to the patch of grass that's on this route, but there's nothing in there besides the patch of grass, and you do need to Cut to get in and out of it. So didn't feel like bothering going in. Now here we have the Tower of Terror, as I like to call it. It's basically just 4 trainers that are in a weird pattern. So I guess we'll go ahead and knock them all out. School's fun, but so are Pokemon. I'm glad that guy feels that way. Don't have a Slowpoke. Good. Good, 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 good. Wow, I'm almost out of Dig PP, I just realized. Dig has so little PP. I'll stay with School. Well, I don't get so demotivated so easily. Alright, the question is, do I have enough PP for this? He must look silly standing here like this. A little bit, a little bit. Are these like your school friends? Is that the idea here? I think that is the idea, actually, the more I think about it. Okay, this is not a favorable matchup, but we'll just stay in. Shouldn't be a huge deal. Sand attack. I'm so glad that that sand attack didn't actually land. That would have been really annoying. Rattata. Go back to Dig. Probably should have just saved my PP, but it's too satisfying not to dig. You have 5 Pokemon? I just realized. Holy crap. Yeah, I really should have saved Dig PP. Meowth. Go back to Cut. I'm stubbornly saying it, and that actually one-shotted? I'm kind of surprised. Oh no, my last Dig PP that I could have had. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Especially when we crit. That's high speed for you. Look what you did. I'm quite proud of myself for doing it too. Alright, let's get back on track with our party. What do we think that this girl has? I like Nidoran, so I collect them. Oh. She has Nidoran, evidently. I chose the wrong trainer to fight with not my Dugtrio, but it's okay. Nidoran female. I wonder what it would be like to collect Nidoran specifically. Like, what does that mean? I guess you'd just be like a Pokemon breeder at that point, right? Nidorina, okay. I am surprised. Pleasantly, I suppose, I could say. Critical hit. Oh my god. Chubbychoo's really putting in some work right now. Why? Why? Did your Nidoran lose? That's just how life goes. Alright, we have one more. Meowth is so cute. Meow, meow, meow. Stop. I command you to stop. That's so Japanese. Do you really just have 3 Meowth? It would not surprise me. Thunderbolt. I guess we'll just spam Thunderbolt to get through this. I also don't know if I'd consider Meowth to be actually cute as a Pokemon. Like, as far as cats go, it's kind of like, eh. Ooh. Of course, the paralysis didn't actually matter. Never does. Not my defense. My already terrible defense. Yeah, you really did just have 3 Meowth. Wow. At least you didn't have an illegal Persian. That would have been, interesting. And stop. I'm not doing it again. What is this? Okay, that's weird. It's like all fenced off. There's also nothing down here. Okay, fair enough, I guess. Let's go over into... Oh, I'm on guard duty. Gee, I'm thirsty. Though. Oh, wait there. The road's closed. Yeah, just like going north or south, we have another guard to the city that we've been circling around this whole time that refuses to let us in. So we're just gonna have to go around again. Okay, what does this say? I'm super curious. Underground path, Celadon City to Lavender Town. Great, but why is this here? Why is this like this? Just like a... I guess it's supposed to be a hill? Like an in-game hill that they decided to add for like decoration? Alright, let's roll the dice. That's a gambler. I can tell because they said something gambler-like. This is before we had gambling laws strong enough to warrant removing them. I suppose. Or maybe Nintendo just didn't care back in the day. Do you really just have 3 water types? I'm so living at large right now, if you do. 3 Poliwags? Ooh, a Poliwhirl. Yo. I like seeing Poliwhirl pop up. We're getting up there in levels right now. We're trying to learn agility. Out of all the moves that I have, agility is like not on the list of things I actually want, so nope. Drat, came up short. Kids, don't actually gamble. It's not good for you. We had to bring Lumen out. We have, I guess, this guy, and that's it, right? You look good at Pokemon, but how's your chem? I would probably say bad. Even though out of all the like different science classes that they allow you to take, you get to choose which one you want. Actually, that's not even true. You basically choose like the curriculum, my high school curriculum specifically. We ended up, you had to take biology for some reason, and then you got to choose between taking chemistry or physics. And do I want to? I'm gonna bubble beam this guy actually. I should have thunderbolted. Yeah, I should have thunderbolted. That would have been better, but it's okay. Anyway, but yeah, you got to choose between chemistry or physics, and I chose chemistry. I've completely forgotten all of it though. I also took yeah, I took like one chemistry class in college. Yeah, one. It was just one. They like require you to take that or physics again. Ow, meltdown. Still good on our Pokemon. So yeah, we have to take this underground path again. The department store in Celadon has a great selection. Cool. And we're here in the underground path. So you can ride your bike down here, but yeah, I don't feel incredibly inspired to. On the bottom here though, we do have an elixir. I don't actually know where these are, I'm just kind of like feeling it out. We also have another hidden item on the second row from the top. Got a nugget. I heard a sleepy Pokemon appeared near Celadon City. A sleepy Pokemon? Well, no, you're thinking Vermilion City. Underground Pass, Celadon City to Lavender Town. Alright, yeah, we're on the west side of this middle area that we can't get to. And guess what? If we try to go in there, it would be like, you know, I'm thirsty again. Now there is a patch of grass here, and there's still nothing new for us to catch here, so we're gonna go ahead and move on into. That's right, it's Celadon City, and hey, wait a second, I think I recognize you, of all people. Keep out of Team Rocket's way. What are you doing here, bro? So yeah, we've made it to Celadon City. Celadon City is actually like a really, really large, you could say like population center of some sort. It's quite big, and there's quite a lot to do in it. I'm actually going to go out this way, though, because we just heard about the fact that there's a sleepy Pokemon, and they weren't lying. Yeah, there's another Snorlax that's blocking the way out of here, so we can't progress even if we want to. Enjoy the slope, cycling road. Can't make it cycling road. But there is this little cut bush here that we can use. That's not the right... That's not the right thing. Cut. Bam. And we have a patch of grass right here with new Pokemon in it for us to catch finally. So I'm gonna go ahead and find something. And we found it. I'm gonna keep it a $1.50 with everyone. I basically have nothing new to say about this Pokemon. It's a normal flying type, just like the other two that we've seen so far, but unlike those, this one isn't all that different from at least the previous one. And as such, for Doduo itself, I actually have like nothing to say about it that's interesting or new or anything like that. And so we're just gonna be moving on like right now. If you care enough, you could pause or take a good hard look right now at its base stats and its catch rate and stuff like that, things that you might care about. But otherwise, we're going to be moving on to its evolution at level 31, Dodrio. Now, I don't have a lot to say about Dodrio either, other than it still clowns on Pidgeot. Pidgeot just can't win. The deal with Dodrio is it's basically just a Fearow, but if Fearow had Pidgeot's base stat total, which is to say, you know, a slightly higher one of about like 20 points, 19 points, something like that. You can see that Dodrio has a really good attack stat. It's 20 base points higher than Fearow's was, and they have the same speed. But otherwise, the HP, defense, and special stats are about comparable to one another between Fearow and Dodrio here. The reason that it still clowns on Pidgeot is because, you know, one, obviously I said Fearow clowns on Pidgeot, and if this is just better Fearow, like, of course it's going to clown on Pidgeot, right? But that aside, look at what level it evolves at. This thing is fully evolved at level 31, which is still lower than Pidgeot. And it has a higher base stat total than it by 1 point. Like, what? I'm sorry, I don't want to get into this again. I'm not going to, but yeah, essentially everything I said about Fearow still applies here. This Pokemon learns the best flying type move in the game, which is Drill Peck. This Pokemon learns it earlier than Fearow too, for some godforsaken reason. And outside of that, the only downside really to Dodrio is that you get it later than you get you know, a Fearow. But I mean, who cares, right? Like, unless you really need the flying type early in the game, they're basically close enough that you won't really be able to tell the difference all that much. But if you had the choice, Dodrio is like basically the clear choice here. Especially because in this game, Dodrio is pretty accessible. That's not always the case in other games, so you might want to factor that in to your decision making. Outside of the higher base stat total, just about the only thing that's different between a Dodrio and a Fearow is that they have a slightly different move pool. Unfortunately, Dodrio doesn't actually fix the problems that the other normal flying types have, where they just have like a really sucky move pool that's only normal type moves and only flying type moves, and then some setup moves, and that's it. Dodrio is exactly the same. However, Dodrio does get access to both Tri-Attack and Body Slam, both things that Fearow does not. And also Skull Bash, but I mean, who cares about Skull Bash? On the flip side though, Fearow does get access to Mirror Move and Razor Wind. Mirror Move is the only move that's kind of cool for Fearow, but you know, I talked about that when I did the Fearow bio. If you really want to hear the spiel on that again, you can go back and listen to it. But essentially, at this point in the game, especially if you don't have a flying type, this is about as good of one as you're going to get in the game. There's only like a couple of flying types that are arguably better, but they're going to be a lot more of a pain in the ass to both get and train. They're going to come way later in the game as well. So, especially if you want something that can use the move Fly, even if you don't want to use it on your team, you might as well just pick up the Doduo right here. And I mean, that's basically it. Great Pokemon, can recommend obviously. So, let's move on. The Twin Bird Pokemon. Its short wings make flying difficult. Instead, this Pokemon runs at high speed on developed legs. So it's an ostrich. Is that what you're telling me? Do I want to give it a nickname? Yes, I do. Yes, we have a new team member, and unlike before, I already have a nickname in mind. I wisened up finally. We're going to be naming this Doduo Sky Emu. But hold on. We're going to be naming it specifically. I can't think. Oh, wait, hold on. This wasn't in the plan. No, wait, hold on. I guess I'm just naming it Sky Emu. I was gonna name it V3, but I forgot there's no numbers in Generation 1 keyboard that you're allowed to put in the name of the Pokemon, so we're just gonna have to settle for Sky Emu, but in you know, in my heart, it's gonna be V3 at the end of it. So yes, we have just that Pokemon available to us, but we do have a new team member finally. It's been, honestly, it hasn't been that long, but, you know, compared to, like, the beginning of the game, it kind of feels like a slog in terms of, like, getting team members for the team I've composed. But, yeah, we have Sky Emu V3, of course. And furthermore, if we keep going... How'd you get in? Good effort. What are you doing back here? How'd you get in here? But yeah, we can sneak into Cycling Road early. Except there's no way to actually get into Cycling Road. There's just this lone house back here. A secret. Don't mind if I do. Oh, you have a Pidgey? A Spearow? A Fearow. Oh, sorry. Oh, you found my secret retreat. Please don't tell anyone I'm here. I'll make it up to you with this. An HM? Yeah, she gives you the HM for once we get to it. Boot it up. We got Fly, and we just caught something that can fly. Isn't that convenient? Yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and teach her right away. If you remember correctly, we actually have the ability to use Fly outside of battle already, because that was what the third gym, Vermilion's gym, or Lieutenant Surge, that badge allowed us to do. So we're living life large right now. In case you don't actually know what Fly does, I've mentioned it before, but I'll repeat it. It's just the quick travel option, or the warp option that this game has. It's completely optional as an HM, but it's very, very convenient. So if you don't have something that can learn Fly, I'd recommend just picking up a Doduo, I guess, because we're right here. Even if it's just to keep it in your party for, you know, flying around and that's it. If I had a bike, I would go to Cycling Road. I have a bike. Pokeflute awakens Pokemon with a sound that only they can hear. Interesting. I rode uphill on Cycling Road from Fuchsia. Interesting. They're just name dropping all kinds of things. I'm gonna heal, sort out my inventory a little bit, and then we'll get back on the road. Alright, we're finally going out to explore Celadon City properly. We've already talked to that guy. I don't know why Team Rocket's here, but evidently they are. This is my trusted pal, Poliwrath. It evolved from Poliwhirl when I used Waterstone. Nice. Nice Poliwrath, man. I wish I could see what it actually looks like. Trainer tips. X accuracy boosts the accuracy of techniques. Dire hit jacks up the likelihood of critical hits. Get your items at Celadon Department Store. Okay, that's not a tip, that's an ad. And it's undisclosed, so therefore, you know, I can sue you now. What do we got here? Celadon Mansion, which is actually a mistranslation. It should be condominiums. Celadon Mansion Manager's Suite. I like how the Manager's Suite's on the bottom floor. I guess that makes sense. Why is there a lot of Pokemon in here? I thought I'm complaining, I guess, but... Crammed full of Pokemon books. It's a sculpture of Diglett. I was wondering what that was, and I guess I can see it. Is this anything different? Nope. Ooh, a Meowth. Okay. My dear Pokemon keep me company. Meowth even brings money home. Oh, you have an adorable Pikachu with you. You look like a fantastic duo. You're making me jealous. Okay, interesting, I guess old lady, is that what I was getting from that? Game Freak Meeting Room. Yeah, the developers of Pokemon self-inserted into the game. They have what is effectively their office right here. Oh, this is just an actually functioning PC? Okay. Wait, does this bed function too? No, it doesn't. What's back here? Okay, we got stock text. Fair enough. There's no one in the meeting room though, so evidently people are just not working. Oh wait, no, people are here though. Game Freak Development Room. Ah, yes. I wrote the story. Isn't Erica cute? I like Misty a lot too. Oh, and Sabrina, I like her. Alright, keep it in your pants. Me, I'm the programmer. Is that right? I'm the game designer. Filling up your Pokedex is tough, but don't quit. When you finish, come tell me. Challenge accepted. I think it's very fitting that the programmer just doesn't say anything besides I'm the programmer. I'm the graphic artist. I drew you. Good job, I guess. This is weirdly meta. There's like that staircase that's back there that we can't seem to get to though. Game Freak Meeting Room again? There's another one? Oh wait, no, did I go back down? Yeah, I went back down, Oh, well, okay, this is just rude. They've completely got like a useless roof area. Whatever. But yeah, they self-inserted and you can find them here. It's kind of cool, I guess. It's also kind of weird and bare bones, but it is what it is. Now, you might have noticed that I ignored that there's like this little path back here. We're finally gonna go back there. And over this way, actually, there is, I think, something over here, right? No, maybe not. I thought there was. No, I think it's just a dead end. We've got like a whole area back here. Oh my god, it just keeps going. And guess what? It's entirely empty. There's actually nothing back here. Like, you could just go back here for basically no reason. However, you can enter the back of the building that we were just in and go up the secret staircase to get to the actual, like, interesting part of the building. I know everything! This is kind of weird and ominous. I know everything about the world of Pokemon in your Game Boy! Again, very meta. Get together with your friends and trade Pokemon. Is that it? That's all you gotta say? Trainer tips. Using a Game Leak cable. Oh, they actually just like tell you how to do stuff here. Cool. We're not gonna read it though. I keep waiting for them to have like actual interesting dialogue. It's a pamphlet of TMs. There are 50 TMs in all. There are also 5 HMs that can be used repeatedly. Silph-Go. Cool. They're just like actually lore dropping. Or I guess in this case, game knowledge dropping. And yeah, there is just a free Pokemon sitting here on the counter waiting for you to take it. We're not going to be giving a nickname to the Eevee though. And instead we're going to take a look at its... well, first of all, let's look at the... Yeah, it's level 25. It's kind of cool and everything. But then, of course, we're going to go ahead and dive into the Pokedex. Take a look at its Pokedex entry, which is like all the way at the bottom. Alright, strap in everyone. We're talking about one of the most popular Pokemon to have ever existed. Arguably, I'd say it's actually the most popular Pokemon ever at this point in time as of recording. And I know that, you know, Pikachu's popular and everything because it got hard pushed by the anime and such and such and such. But I'd actually say that Pikachu is more iconic than it is popular these days. I think there's a distinction there that needs to be made. So, yeah, I mean, Eevee is arguably the most popular Pokemon of all time, and for good reason. It is, of course, very marketable. It's just cat-like. It's a fox in a sense, you know, very recognizably friendly. It's got a good design. It's cute. You know, it's got broad appeal. It's also the evolution Pokemon, and that's like the entirety of Pokemon, right? It's all about evolution. Like everything just lines up. It makes sense. In the game, though, in Generation 1, Eevee is by itself not all that great. I mean, I realize that it's our rival's starter Pokemon, which is cool and all. I mean, it should have been our starter Pokemon instead of Pikachu, but you know, that's if you want to like buy into the game's lore rather than look at the game as like a manufactured storyline, right? But regardless, Eevee by itself not all that great. It's kind of got like really lackluster stats. Basically 50s across the board for the most part, with like a slightly higher special, which it can't use, I don't think, as an Eevee. I haven't actually looked at Eevee's learn set, but I don't think Eevee learns anything that takes advantage of its special, which is kind of funny. Maybe I guess you could teach it some TMs or something. You know what? I'm so curious that I'm going to look at it right now. Yeah, that was a no. I just looked and it literally gets all normal type moves. And then the other moves that it gets that aren't normal type are all status moves. Toxic, Reflect, Rest. That's it. So its special is basically useless as an attacking stat, but you know, defensively it helps it. Either way, Eevee itself unfortunately isn't all that interesting to actually talk about. Like, it's just a pure normal type, and it gets literally none of the like benefits of being a normal type that a lot of other Pokemon get, because it doesn't have a wide move pool. So moving on from that, you might be looking at the evolution data and going, what the hell's going on there? Because it is quite small, and I'm going to address the elephant in the room. Why are my infographics not using the entire space that I have? It'll be more obvious later on, as in like in future Let's Plays, as to why that is. And that's all I'm going to say on it for the time being. But there is a reason, and it's because I'm weird and I don't want to use space that technically isn't actually available. So you'll see what that means in a future LP, but that's why I say these things out loud, is so that you can at least hear them if you can't quite make them out. You know, the mobile users are going to be like squinting like, huh, what's going on there? And Eevee is our first Pokemon that gives us an example of a branching evolution Pokemon. I usually say split evolution rather than branching evolution, but I think branching is like both more accurate and also like what the community at large would probably use. I'm not sure. Either way, if I say split evolution, same thing. And Eevee in particular is like the poster child of it. First of all, it's the only one in Generation 1 to even have that mechanic. This wasn't a thing for other Pokemon for, well, until the next generation. And even then, it's still quite rare. So Eevee is the poster child for a good reason. And Eevee has a whole 3 things it could evolve into. Not just 1, not just 2, 3. 3 different Pokemon. It mirrors the starter Pokemon in a lot of weird ways, because there's 3 things, right? There's 3 different types of Pokemon. It's not like fire, water, grass, unfortunately. It's really close to being that, but it's not, because they instead do water, electric, fire. So you just trade out grass for electric, and close enough, right? And you basically just get to like do a choose your own adventure. Which type do you want to make your Eevee so that it slots into your team nicely, or which one do you like the most, or whatever. We're just going to be going in Pokedex order, because I think that's the most fun way of doing it. So starting off with the evolution that uses a water stone, Vaporeon. First off, this is a new evolution method. Like, I mean, as it's an evolutionary stone, which isn't new. We've seen Thunderstones before, obviously, but it is new because it's a water stone. We haven't seen that before. And you don't have to worry about like finding all these stones or anything like that. They actually show up like basically right now. So you can just like pick this Eevee up and then essentially evolve it right away. Maybe not advisable, but also it probably is advisable. You'd have to look at the learn sets of Eevee and its evolutions, because there are some moves that Eevee gets that its evolutions don't. But unlike most stone evolutions, the Eeveelutions, as they are lovingly referred to, like don't just like stop getting moves. They have like their own tailored level up movesets. So Vaporeon here is of course our water type and the first one in the Pokedex order. Some through lines you'll notice when you're looking at Eeveelutions is that they all have the same base stat total, much like the starters. And they have like one stat that they specialize in. And then they all have the same defense and special. It will always be 60 and 110. So you actually don't have to worry about any of them being like bad at their own typing, which is kind of nice in this particular generation. And they're all kind of like physically frail, but it is what it is. And then they also have two other stats that are going to be 65. So they always have the same numbers, it's just how are they distributed. Vaporeon, of course, has a specialization in HP. It's just shy of Wigglytuff. It's not quite there, but it is, of course, you know, 4th best in the game. Like, still really good. And combine that with the high special, and you get a really tanky, at least specially speaking, Pokemon. And Water type is kind of well suited to being a tanky Pokemon. I think I've said that before. And this is, of course, no exception. So let's go ahead and take a look at our recommended moveset here. Like most water types, Vaporeon basically only gets water and ice type moves, and like that's it. And so therefore our first two moves are going to be Surf, because Surf is just like the premier water type move. Vaporeon does get access to Hydro Pump at level 52, very high leveled, but you know, it's possible to put it on there if you want to. I'm just like usually an accuracy overpower type of guy, so we go Surf. And then of course Blizzard in this game is overpowered because it's 90% accurate. And then in the third slot we have Substitute, and then in the fourth slot we have Rest. These kind of go hand in hand, which is why I'm mentioning them at the same time. Substitute is, I think I've talked about it actually with some other Pokemon, but as a refresher, it's a move where you sacrifice a quarter of your own HP and you put up a like substitute, as it's called, which is kind of like a Pokédoll, and whatever is attacking you hits the substitute rather than your actual Pokemon, and therefore it saves your Pokemon from getting statused. It's impossible for your Pokemon to get statused while you have substitute up, and then also it soaks up the damage for you up to a quarter of your HP. What's nice about it though is that if something is going to hit you for more than a quarter of your health, or through consecutive hits, it will add up to more of a quarter of your health. It actually soaks up all the extra damage too on the turn that it would normally break. So you can actually like tank more damage by using a substitute than you would normally. And because Vaporeon has such a high HP stat, it will be able to make some really bulky substitutes, as well as the substitutes using your own stats, meaning that's going to be especially tanky on the special side of things. And at the same time, you're going to be dishing out damage with your Surf and your Blizzard. It's going to be really nice. And the reason this goes hand in hand with Rest is because Rest heals your health. It puts you to sleep as well, but I mean, it essentially like extends the amount of times that you can use Substitute. Like you use Substitute 3 times and you get down to a quarter health, and then you rest, and then you just like slowly wake up while your Substitute takes damage for you. If you do it against the right Pokemon, you're basically invincible. Now in game, it's arguably not like the best move in the world to use Substitute, but I thought it was too good of an opportunity to pass up. And if you are someone that's like, I don't think Substitute's like all that useful in the the single player mode of Pokemon, then I could recommend Body Slam or Toxic as a replacement for Substitute. You'd have to do your own analysis there. One more quick thing about Vaporeon's move pool is that it actually has a unique situation going on. As far as I know, it might be one of the only Pokemon in the game that has this particular quirk to it. In Pokemon Yellow, it actually learns the move Haze and the move Mist at the exact same level. But Pokemon in Generation 1 can't actually learn 2 level up moves at the same time unless the Pokemon's in the daycare. In which case it'll just like overwrite the first 2 move slots, right? So because of the way the game's programmed, it will always learn Haze if you're leveled up outside or just like in a normal battle. And it cannot learn Mist at all, again, unless you're in a daycare. I wouldn't say that Mist is really worth going through that trouble for, but just something to be aware of. And like a cool fun fact, I suppose. And yeah, that is Vaporeon for you. Very, 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 very solid Pokemon. One of the better water types in the game. Like, if you're planning on picking up a water type, there are better ones, but this is one of the better, or at least pure water types in the game. And you really can't go wrong with it, so can recommend. Moving on though, with the Thunderstone, Eevee will evolve into Jolteon. We've of course talked about the Thunderstone before, so this is nothing new in that sense, but Jolteon is a beast. It specializes in speed, and when you combine that with its super high, of course, special at 110, it becomes a critical hitting, just like monstrous oppression of nature. It will just like, you send it out and then it just spams like Thunderbolt until everything dies. And if the opponent sends out a ground type, of course you just switch. Like, it's such a good Pokemon because it's like perfectly suited to just like completely wreck house. Of course, speed is king, as we all know from the Deoxys theorem, and like, I mean, goddamn, what else can I say besides it's really good? And yeah, you might be looking at my recommended moveset and going, huh, there's something interesting going on here with some of these moves. And I completely agree. I wouldn't call Jolteon's move pool wide, but it does get 2 moves that I put in my recommended moveset that are definitely unique for pretty much every electric type in the game. Actually, it might just straight up be unique. Like, I don't think any other electric types in the game even get these moves. So, recommend moveset. Thunderbolt, of course. I already mentioned that kind of, but yeah, I mean, unfortunately, Jolteon doesn't actually get Thunderbolt by level up. It does get Thunder, but not Thunderbolt. But you're probably going to want to put Thunderbolt on it anyway, because level 52 to get Thunder is really, 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 really long, and you're otherwise going to be stuck with Thunder Shock. So I would just bite the bullet and put Thunderbolt on here, and then of course accuracy over power. Second and third moves though, Double Kick and Pin Missile. Double Kick is a fighting type move that does 30 damage per hit, and it hits twice every time, guaranteed. It's an interesting move, all things considered. Jolteon doesn't have the best attack stat in the world, only 65, but it's something, and it lets it hit both ground types, but more specifically rock ground types super effectively. Not overly well, because of course physical attack against physical defense, which pretty much every rock type has really good defense. Not the best, but it's better than nothing, right? And honestly, Jolteon has like nothing else to put onto it that you'd actually want to put onto it, so that's what we're stuck with. And then Pin Missile. I don't know why Jolteon learns Pin Missile, but it does. And so I just put it on here because I thought it was funny. And also, again, there's nothing else to put on here really. Like, you could put Body Slam on here or something like that, but Pin Missile, man. Whenever you get a bug type move, you kind of gotta put it on here, especially in Gen 1. You'll let it probably do more damage than Thunderbolt to psychic types, so You can use the fourth move, Thunder Wave, to paralyze, and then just spam Pin Missile, and you'd probably win against most psychic types. And then, yeah, I mean, golden ticket right there. That's the recommended moveset. Thunderbolt, Double Kick, Pin Missile, Thunder Wave. You can't go wrong except for against ground types. You're probably going to just die, but that's why you have a full team, right? Right. I've got nothing else to say about Jolteon other than it's a really goated Pokemon. One of the best electric types in the game, if not the best electric type in the game. Can highly recommend picking it up. It's easily the best evolution in this particular game. And really, well, maybe not of all time, but it's pretty up there. So if you don't have an electric type yet, what are you waiting for? And then lastly, via Firestone, Eevee evolves into Flareon. My namesake. No, it's actually not my namesake. But we share a name in a way. So that's cool. Flareon's kind of has a reputation for not being the best Pokemon in the world. But in this generation, Flareon's not half bad. It has that 110 special, which is going to put in some work for it as a fire type. But we run into a problem really quickly because Flareon's level up move pool is pretty trash. It is stuck with Ember for most of its lifespan until it hits level 36 when it finally learns Fire Spin. And Fire Spin is like Wrap, where the opponent can't do anything while it's under the effect of Fire Spin, but Fire Spin's only doing 15 damage per turn, or 15 base power damage per turn, I should say. And then it's only 78% accurate. So it's not the most reliable move in the game. And I don't like using it, even though it's probably relatively busted in Gen 1. But you're going to be stuck with it regardless, because it's going to be better than Ember at the very least. And you have to wait until level 52 to get Flamethrower, which is our first recommended move, obviously. And you might be like, well, what about Fire Blast? Because there is a team for Fire Blast in this game. And, I would love to say, oh yeah, we could just throw Fire Blast on it to like bridge the gap. Yeah, you really can't, because, you can, but you can't. You don't get Fire Blast until, for reference, around the 7th gym. Very late game. It's going to be a while before we get Fire Blast, and by that time, you'll still have maybe quite a few levels to go until you hit level 52 to get Flamethrower, but still, it's not good, man. You have a fire type that really doesn't get its own stab moves that are good until the end of the game. Not the best showcase, but Flareon does get a really good attack stat at 130, which means it's a good mixed attacker in this particular game, even though it's slow. But we could forgive it, I suppose. That's why the rest of my recommended moveset is filled with normal type attacking moves, is to take advantage of its attack stat. And also, Flareon's move pool is so trash. It gets fire type moves and normal type moves, and that's it. So second on the moveset, we have Body Slam. Again, trash move pool. I could paralyze something. It's just a good normal type move. And then third up, we have Hyper Beam. This is, just power, I guess. If you think that you can kill something with Hyper Beam, you might as well. And then fourth is probably the most interesting because I don't think I've used it on a moveset yet. Quick Attack. Quick Attack is only base 40 power, so it's really weak. But it's one of the only priority moves in the game. And it's the only one that Flareon even gets access to. So that will help you, make up for your lack of speed by being able to just out priority whatever Pokemon that you're up against. So you can kind of send it in if the Pokemon that you're fighting has low on health. Let's say that you're fighting one-on-one with something. You get low on health, but then it ultimately knocks your Pokemon out. You send in Flareon and you quick attack. It's got that really, really high attack stat, so even the quick attack will hurt. And assuming it's not a rock type, it just dies, and you're good to go, right? That's really why it's on here. And again, terrible move pool, so The only other move that even gets that's of a different type that's damaging is Smog. Don't even think about picking up Smog. Terrible move. And other than that, Flareon's not really built to be like bulky or be like a good status like support Pokemon. So this is what we're stuck with. I will say that this is one of like the only fire types you're going to get access to this early in the game. Again, we're looking at like about 7th gym before you can get other fire types. And this one's not bad. It's underwhelming is the way I'd put it, but you can do worse for sure. And well, maybe you can't do worse. I don't know. I haven't done like a full sit down and look at all the fire types in the game. Maybe just none of the fire types in the game are bad. I don't know, but regardless, I can tentatively recommend it. At the very least, in Generation 1, Flareon is uniquely actually like viable to some extent. In Generations 2 and 3 specifically, it's basically just not viable at all, which is where its reputation comes from. So if you want to use it anytime soon, this might be your best chance. But it would be kind of a hard pill to swallow because you're giving up either a Vaporeon or a Jolteon in its place, which is not an easy choice to make. But that's the full picture here. We've gone through every evolution now that's available in this generation. They're all pretty solid, with Jolteon having a clear like GOAT status over the other two, and then Vaporeon's kind of a clear second. But still all pretty good. Can pretty much recommend all of them. And yeah, I mean, it's Eevee. Well, it's just a good Pokemon, right? So I'll shut up now. The evolution Pokemon. Its genetic code is unstable, so it could evolve in a variety of ways. There are only a few alive. They just like threw that in at the end right there. Yeah, it's actually just like critically endangered also, so but yeah, that's all that's up here. It's very worth your time to come up and grab the Eevee, because first of all, it's a free Pokemon, and it's also a unique Pokemon that can only be found there. So there's basically no excuse not to grab it. I'm gonna go ahead and deposit it real quick, actually. Alright, onward and forward. So we've taken a look at Celadon condominiums, and then there's this gigantic find what you need at Celadon department store right here that we can look at, and nothing else beside it. What do you guys say? I got my coughing for my friend. We get along now because I was very nice to it. That's kind of cute, I guess. Yeah, I was gonna say there's no one else I missed here, but there's this person. The game corner is bad for our city's image. The game corner. We'll have to look at that in a little bit. But first, we have to go shopping. First floor, service counter. Second floor, trainer's market. Third floor, TV game shop. Fourth floor, wise man gifts. Fifth floor, drugstore. And rooftop square, vending machines. They give you like a little outline. Hello, the Celadon department store. The board on the right describes the store layout. On the left over here, you do have an elevator. I'm instead just going to go up the stairs because we're obviously looking at all the floors anyway. What is this? It doesn't tell me. It looks interesting. Is that like an ATM? Or a phone? I think it was supposed to be phones. Yeah. First floor. Oh, it just says what floor you're on. That makes sense. Top grade items for trainers. This one doesn't. This one has like a little blurb. Trainers market. Alright, yeah, this is the trainers market. For long outings, you should buy Revive. You need a little Revive. Super Repel keeps weak Pokemon at bay. It's a more powerful Repel. That indeed it is. I don't know if I ever talked about Super Repel versus regular Repel, but essentially Super Repel just accounts for more steps. It's not actually more powerful, it just lasts longer. kind of tricky wording. So we got two vendors here. One of them sells like the normal fare for our Pokemart. Just you know, we got the mid-game classics here with the Great Balls and the Super Potions and the Super Repels and stuff like that. I am gonna sell the Nugget that we just picked up though in the Underground Path. Go ahead and get rid of that. And then this guy on the right sells TMs. Now, all of these TMs that he sells, which is quite a lot by the way, there's like 9 here in total. All of them can actually be found outside of the store. There's nothing like unique that you can only get here. But these TMs are infinite because you can just buy them whenever you want. And so they're the only teams in the game that you get like an infinite source of, which is pretty cool. And just to go over them real quick, TM32 is Double Team. TM33 is Reflect. TM02 is Razor Wind. TM07 is Horn Drill. TM37 is Egg Bomb. TM01 is Mega Punch, which we already got. TM05 is Mega Kick. TM09 is Takedown. And TM17 is Submission. So I'm not going to buy any of those. I don't need them. But they are there if you want to like throw them on your team. A lot of the ones that we don't have right now are going to be, you know, quite a bit later in the game before you actually get them, so they're not a bad idea to kind of take a look at. Oh, this is the down again. The up is to the right that I saw. I just wanted to double check to make sure I didn't miss anything over here, which I didn't. Cool, cool, cool. Let's go up. I keep forgetting that down is up. Like, I forget that the very clearly different sprites are, you know, what they are. This one doesn't have a blurb. What's going on here? None of these, like, spots have anything, though. Oh, hi! I finally finished Pokemon. Wait, what? Not done yet. This might be useful. Wait. TM18 is counter, not like the one I'm leaning on, mind you. He's not gonna repeat what he just said. I think he just did a meta joke about how he beat the game already, and he's like, I don't need this, you can take it. So yeah, we have counter, I mean, I've talked about it before. I'm not gonna put it on anything. Captured Pokemon are registered with an ID number and original trainer. The name of the original trainer that caught it. Whoa, is this game systems? It's a SNES! It's a lot of SNESes. You can identify Pokemon you got in trades by their ID numbers. Okay. They're going kind of crazy with the, like, self-references, or real-world references, you might say. Alright. My buddy's going to trade me his Kangaskhan for my Graveler. Come on, Graveler. I love Graveler. I collect them. Huh? Graveler turned into a different Pokemon. I love Graveler. I collect them. But he didn't know that it evolves via trade, so he's not getting a Graveler, he's getting a Golem. Red and blue, both are Pokemon. Okay. I just noticed, like, the poster that's on the wall, and I was like, that looks different and unique. Express yourself with gifts. Evolution Special, Element Stones on sale now. Element Stones? Huh? I'm getting a gift for Copycat in Cerulean City. It's gotta be a Pokédoll. They are trendy. Is that a mistake that I just saw in my Pokemon game? In my Generation 1, where there are no mistakes ever? What do you sell? You sell a Pokédoll, of course you do, but he also sells the Element Stones, or I call them like Elemental Evolutionary Stones. Firestone, Thunderstone, Waterstone, and Leafstone. If you've been sitting on a Pokemon that needs one of these to evolve, then here it is. Here's your chance to finally get the stones that you need. Obviously, we can't evolve our Pikachu, even though I really want to. But for the exact time being, I'm actually going to leave these here, even though I'm going to need them in the future. I'll just, I'll come back and buy them in bulk. This is an elevator. Of course it is. Did I talk to you yet? I heard something useful. You can run from wild Pokemon by distracting them with a Pokédoll. Yes, indeed you can. Pokédolls are literally just like you use it and then it lets you flee from battle like instantly. And it's kind of weird and useless. Like, I guess if you have a really, really slow Pokemon, it would be useful, but it's otherwise just kind of a weird item. Drugstore, that's it. Okay. Pokemon ability enhancers can be bought only here. Use calcium to increase special abilities. Use Carbos to increase speed. Oh, you're not going to tell me all of them? You're just going to stop short? I'm here for Pokemon ability enhancers. Protein increases attack power. Iron increases defense. Alright, we've got the, basically the full array. So this guy on the right does in fact sell the ability enhancers, as they called them. They just outlined what they do, but to reiterate, HP up obviously increases HP. Protein increases attack. Iron increases defense. Carbos increases speed. And calcium increases special. They all cost exactly the same, and they're quite expensive. And that's because they do in fact raise your like stats on whichever Pokemon you use them on. But it's not the stat itself that gets raised, it's the stat EXP that gets raised. Or essentially this generation's version of EVs, if you're more familiar with those. And to be specific, it raises it by 2,560 stat EXP for whichever stat it is, and it caps out at 25,600. Not the stat EXP itself, but the amount that it can increase using the ability enhancers, as they called them. If you already are either at or above 25,600 in that particular stat EXP, then it'll just be like, it doesn't work, or whatever. It essentially just it's not a shortcut to be able to get max stat EXP as much as you might want it to be. But it does give you like a little boost if you, especially if you have a new Pokemon that doesn't have any stat EXP yet, at quite a significant cost, obviously. And then this guy on the left sells X items. X items are pretty simple. I might have talked about it before, but they just, they're like setup moves that come in the form of an item. They will raise whatever the X item is by one stage. So like X special, it raises your special by one stage, and so on and so forth. Dire Hit makes it so that you get critical hits more often. And Guard Spec, I think, makes it so you can't be critical hit. So yeah, that's the array of items here. These are actually very overpowered because, like I said, they're essentially setup moves, but in the form of an item. So your Pokemon doesn't need to waste a move slot on a setup move. You can just, do it for it. And on top of that, it also means that you can essentially have any setup move you want on any Pokemon you want, even if they normally don't get one, which can be very, 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 very powerful if used correctly. Of course, though, I don't use items in battle, so we're not going to pick any up. And then finally, we have the rooftop. My sister is a trainer, believe it or not. But she's so immature, she drives me nuts. She just drives me nuts, I tell you. I'm thirsty, I want something to drink. Not you too. Not again, I have PTSD already. But there are in fact vending machines here. A vending machine, here's the menu. Oh look, we can get drinks here. You're gonna want to buy one of each of them, but specifically 2 fresh waters. not only are these actually just like good healing items to use, like I don't know the specifics offhand in terms of what these actually restore for Pokemon health, but they're essentially like better potions for the like price per HP healed. Especially lemonades, they are listed in order of how much they heal. Does it tell us? No, it doesn't tell us, but it's something like 50, 60, 80 or something. I don't know, it's some weird numbers, but they're very good. Like if you just stock up on lemonades, you're getting like really good healing items for a cheap cost. But obviously this girl was thirsty. And so we can actually give her one of the drinks. If we give her a fresh water, yay! Fresh water! Thank you. You can have this from me. And we get TM13. Ice Beam. It can freeze the target sometimes. Yeah, we just like straight up get Ice Beam from this little girl on top of the roof of the department store. These TMs are so easy to miss, but all of them are so good. We actually do want to teach Ice Beam though to Lumen because it's essentially an upgrade to Bubble Beam. It's not like a one-to-one upgrade obviously because it's a different type, but it is more powerful and it basically does what I want it to do anyway. So I didn't have anything else I wanted to teach Ice Beam to, but you might want to save it for something else. Now if we give her a Soda Pop, yay! Soda Pop, thank you. You can have this from me. And then we get TM48. Rock Slide. She doesn't tell us anything about Rock Slide? Okay, fair enough I guess. Now, Rock Slide, I do actually want to teach to Rossetti. Yeah, we're just getting moves left and right. Good moves of that. What am I going to get rid of here? I think we're going to get rid of... do I get rid of Growl? No, I think I get rid of Scratch, actually. Having both Scratch and Cut is kind of ridiculous. Boom. And then talk to her again. No thank you, I'm not thirsty after all. She only accepts one of each item. I didn't mean to actually give her... I didn't actually mean to give her that, but I didn't know that either, so I guess I'm glad I did. Okay, if we give her the Lemonade, we get TM49. Tri-Attack. Now, Tri-Attack, we want to teach to Sky Emu. Yes, we're already giving Sky Emu a move. Now, Sky Emu does actually learn Tri-Attack naturally at quite a high level, but I don't want to give Tri-Attack to anything else anyway, so might as well. We're gonna go ahead and get rid of, I think... What am I gonna get rid of here? Growl, maybe? Fury Attack, maybe? I'll get rid of Fury Attack. So yeah, we just got 3 TMs and we wanted to learn all 3 of them. Obviously this girl is very, very overpowered. Goated, you might say. Worth your time. And at this point, we've explored the entire department store finally. It's quite the adventure we had here. I'm finally going to use the elevator to get down because it'll just be quicker. Ding dong. Alright. That was a good shopping trip, I suppose, all things considered. Now, to explore the rest of the place, down here is the gym. We're not going to do the gym right away. We're just going to hold off till next time. And there's actually a bit of water here you can do fishing in, and above it, there's actually this guy that's here. Celadon City, the city of rainbow dreams. And you can't get to him, so... Moan. I blew it at all the slots. Oh, I blew it all at the slots. I mean, I stand corrected. I knew I should have cashed in my coins for prizes. The slots. Sounds suspicious. What are you staring at? The scenery? Oh my god, this place goes on forever. It's so big. There's nothing down here. So yeah, this little tree down here, if you try to go down here, it'll actually just lead you to the gym. Like I said, we'll handle that later. There's a bunch of buildings that we don't have access to, but some that we do. There's a basement under the game corner. Cool. How do you know that? The man at that table lost it all at the slots. This seems to be a theme in this town. Or I guess this was, you know, an actual proper city. My Pokemon are weak, so I often have to go to the drugstore. Oh, I didn't mean to leave. I want to talk to this guy. If he would stop moving. Hi! We're taking a break now. Oh, what? This is like some sort of like cafe or something, or a bar. Go ahead, laugh. I'm flat out busted. No more slots for me. I'm going straight. Here, I won't be needing this anymore. And he just gives us a coin case. Cool. Very much worth your time picking up. What is this? Just a random house. Don't touch the poster at the game corner. There's no secret switch behind it. How do these people know it? Chief, we just shipped 2,000 Pokemon as slot prizes. Whoa. Where are you getting these Pokemon? The slots just reel in the dough big time. Why does everyone have sculptures of Diglett? It doesn't make any sense. Also, I'm trapped down here because of this guy. Thank you. One more house in the corner. I'm on vacation with my brother and boyfriend. Celadon is such a pretty city with a dark underbelly of gambling and crime. My sis brought me on this vacation. Oh, okay. Are you the boyfriend? But perchance? Why did she bring her brother? This poor guy. What is this? Like, what is this place right here? Pokemon? No, this is a hotel for people. We're full up. Oh, it's a hotel. This hotel... Oh, I guess maybe that's what all these other random houses are for that we can't go into. I'm so used to hotels being, you know, one building. But that's like America brain. Probably. There's a PP up in the tree up here. Just chilling. I think we're gonna use it. Maybe. Let me think real quick. So, out of all the Pokemon I have, probably... Actually, we're probably gonna save it. We're gonna save it for later. I guess we'll cut this thing down, so we don't have to walk all the way back around. What does this say? Trainer tips. Guard Spec protects Pokemon against special attacks such as fire and water. Get your items at Celadon department store. I don't think that's true, though. Doesn't make any sense. Coins exchanged for prizes. Prize exchange. Rocket Game Corner, the playground for grown-ups. Okay, it's all coming together now. And this brings us back up to the Pokemon Center. So, we finally basically explored the whole city. And here is the game corner, or what would be a casino in the real world. If we go up here, there is these people. Welcome! You can exchange your coins for fabulous prizes next door. Welcome to Rocket Game Corner. Do you need some game coins? It's 1,000 Pokédollars for 50 coins. Would you like some? No. No, please come play sometime. Yeah, this is quite literally just a casino in Pokemon. We don't see these anymore. We see something kind of akin to it, but they basically got rid of it. Keep this quiet. It's rumored that this place is run by Team Rocket. What gave it away? Was it the name, Rocket Game Corner? Kid, do you want to play? And he just gives us 10 coins. Yeah, if you don't have the coin case, you actually can't buy coins, nor can you get coins from people. So make sure you pick up the coin case. I think these machines have different odds. They probably do. Games are scary. It's so easy to get hooked. Hey, you have better things to do. Champion making. Oh, it's this guy? Celadon Gym's leader is Erica. She uses grass-type Pokemon. She might appear docile, but don't be fooled. That's funnier than I was anticipating, and I can't say exactly why until later. I'm having a wonderful time. There's a lot of people in here, all gambling. What's up? Want some coins? Sure. You got 20 coins? Hey, what? You're throwing me off. Here's some coins. Shoo. Yeah, we just got... How many coins was that? Like... Coin case? Does it tell us? Yeah, 50? We got 50 coins just from talking to people. And pays, I guess. Now... That's not all, though. We can actually get coins from the ground as well. People just, like, drop their coins everywhere. So we got 10 coins here. We got 10 coins here. We got another 10 coins here. And yet another 10 coins here. Oh look, it's more 10 coins. I don't know why people drop specifically 10 coins, but you know. Oh look, it's 20 coins, something different. And of course, don't forget about the corner, which of course just has another 10 coins. And I can't forget about this one down here. I walked past it. 20 more coins. And right here next to the bookshelves, I thought, wait, hold the phone. Something's not right here. Oh, it's because I'm looking at a weird map. It's right here. And the big inn, 100 coins. And what does that put us at? That puts us at 280 coins just off the ground, and by talking to people that you get for free. For free! Yeah, very much worth your time. We'll get into the slots in a tiny bit here. I do want to go next door, though, to the prize corner, or the prize exchange. I sure do fancy that Porygon, but it's hard to win at slots. What do you mean hard to win? It's entirely luck, pretty much. I had a major haul today. Good for you, bro, good for you. So there's like 3 windows here, if you will. On the left, we exchange your coins for prizes. Which prize do you want? You can get Pokemon. You know, they were talking about shipping Pokemon. This is what they mean. You can get an Abra, a Vulpix, and a Wigglytuff for, you know, differing amounts of coins. And I will obviously say that Wigglytuff and Abra we can just catch ourselves, not a big deal. The Vulpix, though, actually a huge deal, because we can't catch Vulpix in the wild anywhere in this game, unlike in Pokemon Blue. And so we're gonna have to actually play slots to get this Pokemon if we want it without trading, which I do. If you are thinking about, oh my god, that's gonna be so annoying playing the slots, I'll talk about it in a tiny bit after we go over everything here. In this middle window, we have more Pokemon that are even more expensive. Scyther, Pinsir, and Porygon. Now, Scyther and Pinsir are things that we don't have access to yet, but we can get early here if we wanted to. I'm not going to bother. My rule of thumb is going to be, if we can avoid getting them at the game corner, then we will avoid getting them at the game corner. And so we're just going to get these later when we can actually get them in the wild. And instead, Porygon is unfortunately required to be gotten in the game corner. So that makes 2 Pokemon we have to get here. And 9,999 coins is the max amount of coins you can even carry. Yeah, it's quite brutal. And then finally, in the right window, they sell 3 I mean, in a sense, but they exchange 3 TMs as prizes. TM23 is Dragon Rage, TM15 is Hyper Beam, and TM50 is Substitute. Dragon Rage, even though it's the only Dragon type move in the entire game, it's not good. It's just a 40 damage set move. Like, you'll always do 40 HP worth of damage. It's really, really busted in the early game because most Pokemon don't even have 40 HP. But at this point, things have, like, 100 or so HP. Not a huge deal. Not worth picking up. Hyper Beam, though, I've been recommending Hyper Beam a lot. So, unfortunately, all 3 of these TMs are only gotten here. They are infinitely obtainable, because if you get the coins, you can always just, get the TMs, exchange the money for it, or the coins for it, but you can't get these anywhere else, unfortunately, unlike the department store ones. So you are stuck gambling if you want to afford the nice Hyper Beam TM. And then Substitute's also a pretty solid move, though I haven't really recommended it a lot. And thankfully, Hyper Beam isn't the most expensive one. We'll just put it that way. It still sucks, though. Like, 5,500 coins is quite a lot. Now, that is the prize corner, or the prize exchange. That's everything you can get here. It actually differs a bit with the Pokemon that you can get per version. I'm not going to go through it individually, but I will note something where it matters. Basically, what I wanted to say is that if you are interested in getting anything at the prize corner, and you're not specifically interested in trying to play the slots for it, there is an alternative, which is just straight up buying all the coins that you need at the rate of 1,000 Pokedollars for 50 coins. And unfortunately, there's no way to buy them in bulk, so it's kind of annoying to sit there and go, yep, I want to purchase them, bam, okay, done. Alright, I want to purchase them, bam, okay, done. You have to do that for, each set of 50 coins until you finally get to the amount that you need. It's quite time-consuming and monotonous, but it has to be done. And you might be like, cool, well, how much money would it actually take to be able to get, like, say, the Hyper Beam TM or whatever? It's a lot. It's a lot of money. more money than we have. And thankfully, there are ways to get infinite money, but they are very far and few between. We've already talked about the whole payday thing with Meowth. And, you know, I mean, that is very slow and arduous and time-consuming. Not recommended, but it is an alternative if for some reason you think that's going to be better than gambling. And then there is a, like, actually good way to get infinite money, but it requires you beat the game first. So I'm not going to spoil what that is, but just keep in mind that you're not going to get access to it for a long time. And that method is probably the fastest, probably the easiest. But like I said, it's going to be gatekept from you for quite a long time here, so it's maybe worth it if you are getting into competitive and you don't want to do any generating of Pokemon. I don't know who that would be in this day and age, but you know. Other than that, though, your only alternative is to actually just play the slots. In the situation where you're actually interested in just, like, say, completing the Pokedex by getting the Vulpix and the Porygon, and you don't want to play the slots for that, which is reasonable, because even if you've already beaten the game, you can still complete the Pokedex after that. The cost it would take to get the Dragon Rage TM, 66,000 Pokedollars. To get the Hyper Beam TM, 110,000 Pokedollars. To get the Substitute TM, 154,000 Pokedollars. Yeah, it's a lot. And then I'm not going to go all over each individual Pokemon costs, but I will go over the two that are, you know, important for completing the Pokedex. If you were to buy a Vulpix outright, it would be 20,000 Pokedollars, which is not, like, actually that terrible. We could actually afford it right now. And then to get Porygon, we're talking 200,000 Pokedollars. About. It's not, you know, quite the same because it's not a multiple of 50. I don't even know if they let you buy 50 coins if you are going to overflow, as it were. I don't know how that works. I've never, or at least I can't remember doing it. I'm sure I have done it at some point, but either way, yeah, 200,000 Pokedollars is quite a lot. There is an exception though. If you're playing Pokemon Blue, you get lucky, and Porygon is actually only 6,500 coins in that game. Way cheaper than it is in both Red and Yellow, where it's 9,999 coins. And in that case, if you were to buy that Porygon outright at 6,500 coins, it'd be 130k. Still bad, but not as bad as 200k. Or not as bad as a grind in the slots. So if you have access to Pokemon Blue, or if you're playing Pokemon Blue, you kind of get away lucky. We though are not going to be utilizing Pokemon Blue to get this Porygon. We're going to be doing it the old-fashioned hard way right now by playing the slots. So you might be wondering what the strategy here is, because surely there must be something that you can do to make your life easier. You would be kind of right, but also kind of wrong at the same time. There was that one NPC that hinted at the fact that there are different odds for different machines, and that is actually true to some extent. It's not as, like, clear-cut as, like, if I play this machine, it will just be better than the other ones. It's not entirely how it works. Essentially, without getting too detailed into it, there are certain machines over here on, like, this right side that get a little bit more favorable odds of being a lucky machine. And specifically, the bottom right machine is the luckiest machine that we can get access to. That doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to have good luck or anything like that. It just means that if you're going to be playing the slots, you might as well use this one, because at least you have a chance of becoming lucky. And I think it determines it when you either walk into the game corner or when you start using the machine. I'm not entirely sure which one. Either way, the strategy here is going to be we're going to save. This is to help us mitigate losses by just save scumming them if we, can, or if we end up with a bunch of losses, we can just be like, reload the save. Otherwise, what we're going to do is we're going to go into this bottom right machine. A slot machine, want to play? Yes, begrudgingly. And then we get a little smiley face. And it'll ask you how many coins do we want to bet. You can put in 1, 2, or 3. If you put in 1, you only get access to the middle row of possibility to win. If you've never played slots before, or if you don't know how they work, you have to match 3 symbols in a row. It can either be, a actual row of 3, or it can be a diagonal of 3. And then, like, all the different symbols just mean, like, different amounts of payout. The 7s are, like, the jackpot, and you get, like, 300 coins or something like that as a payout if you match 3 of them. Also, fun fact, the Meowth and the coughing, and I think there's maybe one more on here that's not the Arbok. Or actually, no, I think it is the Arbok, actually, now I think about it a little more. All 3 of those Pokemon are not obtainable in Pokemon Yellow, but they're here on the slot machine. Kind of rude, but it is what it is. But yeah, back to the coins. 1 coin gets you access to this middle row, so you can only match things on that middle row. The 2 coins gets you access to all 3 rows, and then 3 coins gets you access to all 3 rows plus the diagonals as possible matches. The strategy here is you're just going to go in, you're going to choose 3 coins, and then you're just going to mash the A button. Ooh, we lined up the cherries and we got 8 coins. And yeah, ooh, we didn't get anything that time. The strategy is literally just to mash A. You can technically time the slots a little bit, but the game fudges it like real slots do, where even if you time it correctly, it'll be like, we rolled over 1 more or 2 more or whatever, and you don't get it if it wants you not to get it. You essentially have to like let the machine be like, yeah, it's time for you to win before you actually win. And therefore, it's basically useless to try and time it. And you might as well at least speed through it so that you waste as little time as possible. And the kind of idea here, ooh, we got 3 coughings, 15 coins, is if we lose more than about like 50 to 100 coins, you can kind of make up your own numbers. Then we're going to save the scum and reset. But otherwise, we're just going to kind of keep playing until our luck starts turning bad, and then maybe we can take breaks by backing out of the machine and then saving again once we've won like a jackpot or something. Or not even after we've won a jackpot. It'd be probably better just to wait until you start having like particularly bad luck. So I'm just going to be sitting here rolling the slots until we have enough coins to get the stuff that we need, being the 2 Pokemon. So I'll see you guys whenever this gets done. Yeah! 7 lined up, scored 300 coins! I just got a jackpot, and that took like literally, I don't even know, like 20 seconds after I said I was going to be back. See, it's not that bad, right? Right? Ooh, that payout takes a long time. Alright, on the grind continues. Turns out bar gives you 100 coins. Mystery solved. Okay, I think I'm on a lucky streak right now. I've been winning, like, the small amounts, like, a lot in a row. And lucky streak, my understanding of it is that the game essentially, or the machine rather, essentially goes, alright, you know what? We're gonna let you win, or give you a high chance of winning. Like, the machine kind of helps you out a little bit. for like 60 spins in a row. And so we're basically just going to be farming like a lot of coins right here for quite a while, which is going to be pretty nice as like a little like quote-unquote guaranteed coin boost. And if you want to like really dive into how these things work, because I can't be bothered to remember or truly look into exactly how everything works, there is a really good article about it on Glitch City. Anyone remember that? The old Glitch City wiki. So I guess I'll leave like a pseudo link to it in the description. I've been kind of burned on leaving links before, because if YouTube decides that there's a virus in that link, then it'll be like, your YouTube video's been taken down until you get this fixed, which is really annoying, but it makes sense. So it's gonna be like mostly a link, but it's not gonna be an actual link. But it'll still get you to where you need to go, essentially, if you use it correctly. Just in case you're curious. Alright, my lucky streak has basically died out, as far as I can tell. I lost 4 times in a row, so I'm gonna call that a, you know, a luck has dried out type of moment. And we do have enough coins to go and get our first prize that we actually want, so we also have enough coins to as well be able to keep going after we get our prize, which is also important. Don't forget about that. Of course, I'm talking about the one, the only Vulpix. Yes, I want Vulpix. Thank you very much. We are not giving a nickname to it. Let's go ahead and take a look at its Pokédex entry. I don't remember exactly where it is, but oh wait, no, it's towards the beginning. Yeah. So you didn't want a Charmander, you didn't want a Flareon, and now you're stuck with Vulpix. At least if you're playing Pokemon Yellow. If you're playing Pokemon Red, then you don't even get access to a Vulpix, because this is part of a version-exclusive pairing, the other of which that you would have in Pokemon Red isn't actually seen in Pokemon Yellow until quite a long time from now. So we'll talk about that when we get there. This is the Pokemon Blue version exclusive that you get access to right on the route, like outside of town. Route, I think it's 8 or 7, maybe both. Either way, as our like resident middle game fire type, that's not like a bad trade-off where it's like, oh, either if you're playing Pokemon Blue, then okay, well, I could have chose Charmander, but it's a starter, so I'd be giving up the other starters, and maybe I want a different starter more. And then with Eevee, it's like, well, if I wanted to choose Flareon, what if I wanted to choose a different evolution more? This one's just kind of no strings attached, right? Like, you can just pick it up and be like, cool, I have a fire type now. And there's no, like, opportunity cost, other than, I guess, it takes a slot in your team, right? But presumably you want a fire type anyway. And as that, like, role that's filling right now, it does okay at it. It's a pretty solid Pokemon. It's just, you should know some things about it before you commit to it. So Vulpix itself isn't too special. It has good special and speed relative to its other stats, and that's going to be the vibe of this Pokemon going forward. It's kind of lackluster as it is though right now, and the thing that hurts Vulpix a lot is that you get it at level 18 when you get it from the game corner here. You only get it at level 18. This isn't great. It's pretty under-leveled, especially when you consider that the Eevee we get is at level 25. I'm just saying. So you're gonna have to do quite a bit of training to like kind of catch it up with the rest of the party, more than likely. And it's also just like not a good Pokemon as it is right now. Like, it's pretty weak, all things considered. 249 base stat total. Not great for this point in the game. This is something you'd see on, like, you know, Rattata on Route 1. Like, It's not great, but it could be worse. You could have a literal Rattata. Outside of that, the other big problem it has is its evolution via Firestone, Ninetales. Ninetales is not the actual problem within itself. Ninetales actually is kind of dope. Like, it's got 100 base speed, 100 base special, and then like pretty good everything else. On its own, pretty cool. The problem comes in with the fact that it's a stone evolution, and therefore its level up moveset, non-existent. Therefore, if you want like any of the good moves that you'd want to put on a Ninetales, you have to keep it a Vulpix for a long time. At minimum, you're going to want to keep it around as a Vulpix until level 28 when you get Confuse Ray, because Confuse Ray is like a must on any Ninetales build. And I mean, 10 levels isn't terrible, but it's not great either, especially because once you get into the 20s, it's like, oh, that low base stat total is really coming to bite you. But furthermore, if you want to teach it Flamethrower, like a classic, every fire type should have this move. Flamethrower, you don't get until level 35 as a Vulpix, and you have no way to learn it as a Ninetales. So when you have to consider that you might want to be keeping a Vulpix to level 35, it becomes really hard to recommend. If you are down for that challenge, or you're willing to forego access to Flamethrower, or furthermore Fire Spin at level 42, not as big of a deal in my opinion, but still, that's those are the big three, we'll call them, and they're the last three the last three moves that Vulpix actually learns: Confuse Ray, Flamethrower, Fire Spin at levels 28, 35, and 42 respectively. If you're down to work around that, you do get a pretty good Pokemon in return, especially in this generation. It's just really solid, and it will put in some work for you. But if you aren't willing to put up with that, then you might want to hold off and get something in the later game. If you are really like wanting a fire type, we do get some more options. It's just near the end of the game, so you have to wait a while. But outside of that, let's talk about the recommended moveset I put on this thing. So I alluded to it, but Flamethrower in slot 1. Just to reiterate, we do have to learn that as a Vulpix at level 35, but it's really just like the best move you could put on it. There is, of course, Fire Blast you could teach the Ninetales as a TM. You don't have to wait for Flamethrower in that regard, but again, you don't get Fire Blast until around the 7th gym. And I mean, I guess to that same extent, you're not going to be like level 35 until pretty late. Well, actually, you might hit it before the 7th gym, but either way, I guess it's kind of around the same time, so maybe it's a moot point. And then we have, in the second slot, Fire Spin. One of the problems with Ninetales also is that it has a really shallow move pool, and so I didn't want to put anything else on it besides Fire Spin. I kind of thought that that was its best move. It kind of takes advantage of the fact that it is going to be going first, probably more often than not, so it can kind of Fire Spin trap something. And I mean, otherwise, like, you could play around with maybe giving it Substitute or Rest or something. Maybe, I don't know, maybe Body Slam or Toxic. But that's about it. And then we got Dig. Dig is the only coverage move it gets, and of course we're going to want it on there because it does actually help give it coverage. Especially against something like a Rock type, specifically, I'm thinking about. One of the most problematic types for fire types just in general. So you gotta put Dig on here. It's also just really good in this generation, obviously. And then Confuse Ray. I said it before, I'll say it again. You gotta have Confuse Ray. If your Pokemon does learn it, you almost always want to have it. Unless you're going for like a very specific moveset. Confuse Ray, it's 100% chance to confuse something. Can't pass that up. It's so good. It's too good. So it does help round out Ninetales' moveset to make it respectable. Like, you look at it in a vacuum and you go, that's not too bad. Fire Spin's kind of weird, but I mean, I guess it's not too bad. And that's kind of the vibe. You're like, this Pokemon, it's not too bad. I mean, there's some weirdities to it, oddities, but it's not too bad. And yeah, that's all I gotta say about it. At least you can evolve it right now because you can buy the Firestone. If you want to forego all those level up moves. So I cannot impress upon you enough to consider when you're going to actually evolve it. You have the power, and you just have to make the right choice if you're actually going to pick it up. So I will soft recommend it. It'll be a good fire type for you, especially in yellow, if you don't want to wait for any of the late game options. So yeah. The fox Pokemon. Both its fur and its tails are beautiful. As it grows, the tails split and form more tails. Cool, yeah, so this is our like first fire type besides Charmander. Pretty nice. It's nice just to see other fire types for once in a blue moon. I'm gonna go ahead and deposit this, and I'm gonna go back to gambling. Yay me. Something else that I've figured out, I might as well mention, is I looked at it again, and it turns out that it sets the lucky machine when you enter the building. So I've been saving outside, and then whenever I save scum, I just reset outside essentially, and then go right back to it. Darn, ran out of coins or something. I didn't get to read it in time. Yeah, I just decided to go until I ran out this time. Based off of like the 80 coins or whatever that I had after buying that Vulpix, and yeah, I ran out, and thankfully I can reset. But unique dialogue. I think I'm back on a lucky streak again, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, I'm definitely back on a lucky streak. And it's crazy because the lucky streak is even rarer than just like getting the chance to get a jackpot. Even in a normal not lucky machine. Like, crazy that we're 2 for 2. We've had 2 like times where we've won big, about 100 to 300 coins, and then the 2 times now we've entered a lucky streak. I don't get it. Okay, so I just got like 2 7s in relatively quick succession. As in like, I got 7s maybe... Yo, we kept going? Hold on. Anyway, I don't know, I got 7s again like maybe 100 or so spins ago. Which is like insanely good odds for the chance to roll jackpots like back to back essentially. And therefore what I'm gonna end up doing is after I hit this 2350 threshold that I'm arbitrarily setting for myself, I'm gonna, instead of backing out and going outside and saving, I'm actually just going to save in front of the machine, because I'm reasonably confident that this is in fact the lucky machine, and I might as well keep the lucky machine, which essentially just means I get bars and 7s more often. Okay, so we are closing in on getting the max coin count. I think I actually got 2 lucky streaks in a row. Like, I think this is my 2nd lucky streak, essentially in a row. Like, it wasn't necessarily back-to-back, but, it was like maybe like a gap of like 6 spins or something like that. Unless this is just a really long lucky streak, and I'm giving it, and I underestimated, overestimated, that would be the correct term, for how many spins I had used up out of the 60 wins. But it looks like we're gonna hit it. We only need essentially like 2 more good wins, or even now 1 small win, but there it is. And we just get scammed out of the remaining coins that we can't carry. We aren't going to continue, obviously. We finally have max coin count. Now, this took about yeah, like about 6 hours-ish, 5 to 6 hours of real time. Not terrible, like, it could have been much worse. I think I finally dialed in the lucky machine, though. I got, like, 2 100 coin bar matches, like, within, like, 4 spins of each other, which was crazy. And then I also got, like, a back-to-back jackpot roll, plus another bar roll after that. And then I got quite a few lucky streaks, like, way more than I was anticipating, so... Let's go ahead and exchange our prize, our final Game Corner prize. I don't want to ever come back here again. So you want Porygon? Yes. Do I want to give a nickname? No. And now I'm out of coins. Let me look at the coin case real quick, just to confirm that I'm out of coins. Coins 0. Yeah, as soon as we get that Porygon, we either have to buy more coins or we're just screwed and can't do anything else ever again. So, good thing we don't actually need anything else. Let's go ahead and look at the Pokedex entry, of course. Now, Porygon's going to be close to the end. Yeah, there it is. Bam. Ah, Porygon. Such a weird Pokemon. And it's also quite infamous from the anime, if you know, you know. But how is it in-game? Well, it's odd, to say the least. It's like both frustratingly bad, but also like pretty solid at the same time. It's got this weird vibe going on for it. So the deal with Porygon is that it's slow as sin, base 40 speed. You're not outspeeding like anything in the game, and so therefore you're guaranteed like go last unless you get a lot of stat EXP on it, but it's not good. The rest of its stats don't really make up for it. Like, its highest stat is special at 75, and it has like basically around 60 to 70 other stats, and so it's kind of sort of on the bulkier side. Like, its attack stat's its lowest stat outside of its speed, and of course its special being high is both defensive and offensive, right? Therefore, Porygon, while it can be a mixed attacker if you want it to be, it's probably best suited to be a special attacker, especially because it has the normal type special of being able to learn like all the special type moves under the sun. So that's the kind of overview of Porygon, at least from a stat perspective. In the move pool department, I just said that it had all, you know, the normal type special, but it lacks water type moves, so you don't have any of those. You do get ice moves, and you do get electric moves as well as psychic type moves, and that's it. As far as level up moves go, it's actually quite interesting. I would say it's maybe a bit better than the usual normal type stuff because it actually gets Psybeam via level up as like its only other attacking move that's of a different type than normal. Not too bad. It could be better, could be worse. Psybeam's you know, just a pretty good solid move to have. And that makes it so that if you really wanted to, you could rely on Psybeam and not have to pump as many teams into it as you normally do for a normal type. So that's pretty cool. Something else that's cool about Porygon is that it comes with 2 moves that are signature moves of Porygon in this generation. It comes with Sharpen and Conversion. Now, Sharpen is just a move that raises your attack by 1 stage. If you want to run either a mixed or a physical Porygon, that's probably the way to go, is to put Sharpen on it, or keep Sharpen on it, as it were, and then just let it raise its attack, right? I opted not to do that, so it didn't make it onto the moveset. But the more interesting move is Conversion. Conversion will change your type to whatever it is you're fighting against. So if you're fighting like a Vaporeon, and then you use Conversion, suddenly you're a water type. And then that Vaporeon probably ain't doing much damage to you. So that's cool. If it's cool in the right situation. You know, sometimes it's not all that useful, but regardless, it's a cool move, but it's very niche, and at least with like the normal in-game single-player stuff, it's not going to be too useful, so I chose to forego it as well. And then that leaves us with the recommended moves I've curated here. So first up, I have Blizzard. I went for the standard Blizzbolt set. I realized that it kind of like gets psychic type moves, and so putting psychic on it might have been very thematic. But Blizzbolt's really hard to pass up, and I just went for it. That's how it is. And then third up, we have Recover. Recover is one of those level up moves that Porygon does get, and Recover is just a really nice, I'm just going to recover my HP and help Porygon deal with the fact that it's slow to some extent, if you can predict when you actually need to recover well enough, which you should be able to most of the time, as long as there's no crits involved, right? And then Thunder Wave will help, of course, bring the opponent's speed onto your level, especially because in Gen 1 it quarters the opponent's speed, decreases it by 75%. Very, very strong speed debuff, as long as they don't use a speed raising move like Agility or switch out. Gen 1 bugs, but regardless, with this moveset, or specifically with Thunder Wave and Recover, I think you can actually probably do quite a lot with Porygon, and it will help you counteract its slow speed, and you end up with just like a really solid middle of the road average Pokemon that has like some cool gimmicks up its sleeve if you want to lean into those. If you want to lean into the physical side of things, your best bets are probably going to be some combination of like Tri-Attack, which it actually gets as its last level up move at level 42. And I don't think I talked about it yet, but Tri-Attack is kind of neat because it actually can do... Oh, actually, no, it doesn't do that in Gen 1. Okay, well, in Gen 2 it's cooler, but in Gen 1 it's just a regular move. Oh well. But it's still base 80 power, and it has no drawbacks, which helps it beat out something like Takedown or Double Edge or whatever. Unfortunately, Porygon doesn't get access to Body Slam, so no can do there. And yeah, basically your best physical moves are gonna be Tri-Attack or Hyper Beam. Like that's what you got going on here. That is the whole deal here with Porygon. Relatively okay or good even special attacker, kind of mid physical attacker, but at least it gets sharpened. And therefore your moveset's going to want to tailor to whatever it is you want to run Porygon as. Either way though, you should probably have Thunder Wave and Recover on it, no matter what, just to help elongate its longevity and give it a leg up with its slow speed. So cool Pokemon. It's very, 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 very hard to recommend it though, because even though it does come at level 26, which is, actually pretty good, all things considered, like the fact that you have to grind 9,999 coins for it, not great, and it really isn't worth the time and effort to go through it. But if you're doing a catch 'em all anyway, so you're forced to get a Porygon, especially if you're getting one at this mid stage of the game, it could be a fun, interesting new Pokemon that you probably never used before, especially in Gen 1, that you could put on your team. So there you go. The virtual... That sounded weird to me. The virtual Pokemon. The only Pokemon people anticipate can fly into space. None has managed the feat yet, however. Interesting Pokedex description. I don't know what to make of that, but yeah, that will of course wrap it up for this this episode. We didn't do like a ton, but we did explore this huge city, and we got actually quite a few encounters, like new Pokemon. So you call that a win in my book. Thanks everyone for tuning in. If you like the video, please hit like. If you really like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing. And if you dislike the video, then hit dislike. Otherwise, I'll see everyone next time.